surely have found out the great job Kansas City's doing with the little equipment we have you not?
Yes, sir.
Hell, everybody in this room in Kansas City has worked 120% to get us on the map.
Outstanding.
What's the plan to give us a Cadillac so we can do a hell of a lot better job? We're out of space. We're out. If you talk about old equipment, we got equipment. I think before you and I were born, we still operating out there.
I think I saw some.
I think the people here need to really know, bottom line, when you're going to get us equipped in the room. You give us that, we can equip anybody.
Well, I like your attitude.
Your new Chairman, President, and Chief Executive Officer, Bill McGee.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out and giving us an opportunity to get acquainted with you this evening. It's somewhat of a formidable task to stand in front of a group of people, most of whom you have never met before, and attempt to tell them about a new management team in a company and who the new owners of a company are. I'd like just to take a few minutes to begin with to give you a little bit of background in terms of how the acquisition of Braniff was taken place, or has taken place, in connection with the investor group that put up the money to acquire Braniff from the Pritzker interest. The group of people that were responsible for the acquisition of Braniff are a group of investors known as the Core Group, C-O-R-E Group, out of New York and Philadelphia, and some of them have business interest in the area of Miami. These people are not airline people. They are finance people, they are real estate people, they are investors, and very successful in all of their fields. They felt that it was a major opportunity for them and for the people of Braniff and for those of us that would work with them to come together with an opportunity to buy Braniff from the Pritzker interest, which obviously had been talking over some time, as you well know, as to whether or not they would dispose of the company. And through arrangements with Payne Weber, which is the investment group that was responsible for putting this very complex situation together, these investors put up the money for a leveraged buyout of Braniff in an effort to do several things for the company. One was to put considerable financial backing to the company. A little bit about the Core Group, in the sense that the Core Group is one of the largest real estate investment companies in this country. Members of the Core Group own some 80 hotels around the country, hotels that have been bought and refurbished into major properties in New York and elsewhere in this country. Although they're not a part of a chain, they're all individually owned. In addition to that, some of the investors of the Core Group, for example, are responsible for and own all of the properties that make up the Walmart chain of stores around this country, which is certainly one of the major chains in the country, some 70 or 80 stores, I suppose. In addition to that, other major real estate interest in New York City, both in the building and managing of major properties that run into the hundreds of millions of dollars. So the resources behind the Core Group are such that you can expect that the company will be well financed and give us an opportunity to move forward in the area that's so important to this company, and that is the ability to expand the company and take it into an area of profitability. With that background, after these people had worked with Payne Weber and with the investors and with Mr. Pritzker's group in an effort to come to an agreement by which they could acquire this company, they came to us as a group of people that were involved, obviously, in a merger between Piedmont and U.S. Air, and who had to make a decision in our own career path to see whether or not we wished to move forward and work with U.S. Air or to take on another challenge in our business career. When they came to us and asked us if we would have an interest in working for them as a management team to come in and work with you folks in running Braniff. We thought it was one of the most exciting challenges of our life. I'll tell you that it wasn't a hard decision for me. Obviously, when your company has been acquired as Piedmont was acquired, a company that I spent all of my life with, essentially some 40 years with that organization, it's pretty clear that I wasn't going to be president of that company. Companies don't have generally two presidents around. And other people that are with me tonight were in similar situations. We felt that the challenge that would be there for us, the opportunities to do something in working with you to help build Braniff into a major factor as a competitor in the airline business in this country, was such that we simply couldn't turn it down. So we're delighted to be a part of the Braniff team. And all of us have had considerable background and experience in the various facets of this business, but we found that, of course, within the house of Braniff, that there was a tremendous amount of knowledge and expertise to draw from also. So I think if we make up our mind to work together as a team to see what we can do with this company, that we'll be surprised at the opportunities that will be available to us that might not have been available to you in the past. Anything that I say tonight has absolutely no reflection on the past management of Braniff. I will say this, though, as a matter of simply getting it on the table, and that is that as an interim management team, there's considerable difference between running a hotel business and running an airline business. Two simply do not... I don't believe that any of you can tell me many airlines that have been very successful in the hotel business, and I don't know too many hotel people that have been very successful in the airline business, so we'll simply leave it at that and tell you that we think that the company will be better served by a management team of people, both those that have been with your company in the past and others that are here and others that might come to this company that have substantial airline background in dealing with an industry in a deregulated environment. Now, from time to time, I might slip and make past reference to the company that I spent my life with, but my loyalties, I will tell you for sure, are now with Braniff. Somebody said to me in an interview recently, well, where are your loyalties? You spent 40 years with Piedmont. You can't just turn that off and move into another company and be loyal to that company. And the fact of life is that I can't turn it off in terms of the fact that the company certainly was very good to me and allowed me to work for it for some 40 years of my life. But 40 years is long enough for any guy almost to work for any company. And I can tell you that I wasn't ready to retire from Piedmont, and that certainly in another year or very few months beyond that, I would have had to do that. So having the choice of retiring a little bit early as I did and coming with this organization was not any major decision for me. It was a challenge for me. It's something that I was excited about, and I can tell you for sure that my loyalty lies with the people of Braniff and what we can do with Braniff. Now, I'm not here to tell you that we have any magic formulas, but I am here to tell you that I think we know how to do some things in Braniff that will benefit all of you. Let me go back and tell you a little bit about my knowledge insofar as what I know about Braniff people. I'm sure that most of you would remember the fact that in the unfortunate situation of the Braniff bankruptcy, that a number of people were looking for jobs around this industry. And I can tell you that the company that I was with at the time was extremely fortunate in being able to acquire literally, I suppose, well over 1,000 people from Braniff and have them work for Piedmont. Some 500 pilots, I believe, are now on the Piedmont payroll and have been since the time that Braniff reorganization started. Probably that many flight attendants, 300 or 400 flight attendants, several hundred ticket people, customer service people, and mechanic trades are with Piedmont. And I can tell you that my experience with the people at Braniff that worked at Piedmont was second to none in this business. We were never able to get a group of people that were any more qualified or a finer group of people than those people that came to Piedmont from Braniff. And you can ask any Piedmont employee that question, and they'll all tell you that the Braniff people have been a very stabilizing and leveling effect in that company, in a company that had tremendous growth in a relatively few short years. I think it's important, again, if you will allow me, to draw this conclusion in this sense that in 1978, Piedmont Airlines was essentially the same size that Braniff is today. May have been 300 or 400 people more but we were almost exactly the same size, about a 4,000 person organization, operating about 50 airplanes, carrying about the same number of passengers and flying essentially the same route system, not as long a route system as you people at Braniff have to deal with. So if you can look back and see what opportunities were there and the fact that we were able to take advantage of those opportunities in that 10-year span from 1978 to 88, you can see what can be done with a company if you have an interest in taking advantage of opportunities. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for joining us today. It's an important day for Braniff and Kansas City and those of us associated with Braniff. Just 3 short weeks ago, I met with the media in Dallas and broadly outlined the priorities of the new management team at Braniff. We intend to restore this airline with its proud and rich heritage to the ranks of one of the nation's most consistently profitable and successful air carriers. That's the goal that we've set for ourselves in dealing with the people at Braniff and the areas that we serve. We're prepared today to discuss with you, though, one of the first steps that we are taking toward the implementation of plans to meet that ambitious, yet I think very achievable goal. Braniff and Kansas City have, I believe, needs and desires that should create mutually beneficial relationships. And Kansas City deserves air service that will help put it on an equal footing with neighboring cities enjoying successful airline hubs. For just as a city needs a strong and profitable banking situation and retailers and manufacturers to fuel its growth, it also needs a very strong and profitable competitive airline. Braniff, on the other hand, has a desire to build a hub in a community that will quickly rally and support and respond to the needs. These goals are achievable only if Braniff provides Kansas City with reliable, quality service to a wide array of destinations using state-of-the-art equipment. And what we are announcing here today is a long-term commitment toward that end. If you believe, as I do, that a highly successful air service hub is vitally important to the future of Kansas City, then I think you should share our enthusiasm at the first major step towards our mutual goals in that direction. As a matter of perspective, Braniff has not purchased a new aircraft in more than 12 years. I'm pleased to announce today that we have placed an order for a fleet of 12 new Fokker F-100 jets, one of the most advanced aircraft in commercial service today. And we have taken options on an additional 6 of these efficient, comfortable twinjet aircraft. This fleet of aircraft which Braniff is purchasing will significantly increase our flexibility in developing the Braniff air service hub pattern at Kansas City. First, in terms of range, the Fokker F-100 will be able to fly with a full passenger load nonstop from Kansas City to any destination in the 48 contiguous states. In contrast, the primary fleet of Braniff twin jets, the BAC 111, are restricted to a range of no more than about 700 miles from Kansas City. Secondly, these aircraft will enable us to operate more economically and more reliably. Since the Fokker F-100 are new, their design and outstanding Rolls-Royce Tay engines, the newest in the development of jet engines, will provide greater economics in terms of fuel burn and maintenance cost. On a typical 400-mile flight, the Fokker F-100 burns 40% less fuel than the BAC 111 on a seat-mile basis. So what does all of this mean to the traveling public? For the business community, it means more dependable and more competitive service with frequent flights to major destinations throughout the United States. And to the vacationer, it means reasonable, reliable access to vacation spots throughout the country. St. Louis has that kind of service today, and so does Minneapolis, Dallas, and Denver. Now Kansas City will, as well, have the kind of service that encourages the use of this major hub, and we're committed to making that happen. The Fokker F-100 will also give our employees certain major benefits. Our pilots will be surrounded by the most advanced avionics of any aircraft in the skies today to support their work on the flight deck. The Fokker F-100 has a so-called glass cockpit, which provides its 2-person flight crew with the widest possible array of information and support and provides it with the maximum efficiency and simplicity. I'm sure Steve Koenig, who is with us today from Fokker Aircraft, will provide you with additional information on the technical aspects of the aircraft. I'll be back in a few moments to answer your questions, so I'd also like to be back in about 2 weeks with what I believe will be an exciting announcement for service improvements which we intend to implement at Kansas City in the early fall. And now here to share with you some of the specifics of this important new aircraft is Fokker's Vice President of Sales for North America, Mr. Steve Koenig. Steve?
Thank you, Bill. It's a special pleasure for me to be here today with the new management team of Braniff. However, Bill McGee and his associates are not new to Fokker. We have known them for several years. They are tough, aggressive competitors. They are widely known throughout the aviation industry for their high degree of competence. And all of us at Fokker wish them well in their new leadership roles in Braniff. Fokker is a Dutch company. We are headquartered in Amsterdam with our North American offices in Alexandria, Virginia. The company is one of only 5 remaining manufacturers of commercial jet aircraft in the free world today. And Fokker is the oldest of these manufacturers. We were founded in the Netherlands in 1919, which means that next year we'll be celebrating our 70th anniversary. While we have both a proud and historic past, we are a company that is well poised for the future. Companies like Braniff and Fokker operate in an enormously complex and competitive air transport environment in the United States. We believe the Fokker 100 is an aircraft that will meet all of the challenges ahead. The Fokker 100 is a modern, fuel-efficient, and extremely quiet jet aircraft that meets all existing and envisioned safety, noise, and emission standards both in the United States and throughout the world. The aircraft has a spacious and bright cabin interior and substantial carrier space for carry-on luggage both in the garment storage area and in the overhead bins. The wide aisles permit unrestricted passenger movement, and modern galley and lavatory facilities promote a new level of in-flight service. From a construction standpoint, the Fokker 100 is a blend of tried and true manufacturing techniques, as well as very modern methods of aircraft construction, using the experience that Fokker has gained through several space programs. The use of hot bonding, composites, and anti-corrosion protection all add to the tough, lightweight, corrosion-resistant characteristics of Fokker aircraft. The Fokker 100 is powered by the Rolls-Royce Tay 650 engine. A version of that engine is now flying with Swissair in Europe. The engines produce over 15,000 pounds of thrust, is extremely fuel-efficient, quiet, and reliable. From a technological standpoint, perhaps the most striking facet of the Fokker 100 is the sophisticated cockpit. The Fokker 100 features the latest generation digital all-glass cockpit, offering optimal pilot workload conditions and, more importantly, flight safety. The Fokker 100 is based primarily on 4 digital flight information warning and control systems. An electronic flight instrument system, which is called EFIS, uses full color screens to provide a complete range of data to the pilot. A multifunction display system, which shows engine parameters and operational information. An automatic flight control and augmentation system, which provides flight, autopilot, auto throttle, and flight augmentation functions. This is a new development. It's operational in the most modern jets and includes 2 flight control computers. An advanced flight management system provides navigation and aircraft performance data. This system operates with a memory and data processing capabilities unmatched by systems in any other aircraft. For the operator, the system leads to substantial fuel and time savings. The Fokker 100 is a highly sophisticated, passenger-pleasing aircraft. We're very proud of the aircraft, and we're especially proud that Braniff has expressed its confidence in Fokker by making the Fokker 100 an integral part of its future.